In identifying the specific projects to be included in the proposed bank financing, the LGU has to keep in mind the provision of Republic Act 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991. Under Section 296 General Policy, it shall be the basic policy that any local government unit might create indebtedness in avail of credit facilities to finance local infrastructure and other socio-economic development projects in accordance with the approved local development plan in public investment program. May mga nagtatanong ho sa amin na pwede ho bang mag-loan ang isang LGU kung hindi kasama dun sa approved local development plan. Hindi ho kami pumapayag. It should be included in the local investment plan. Kung talaga ho mapilit, then sabi namin, i-revise yung local development plan. Another equally important is Section 287, which requires appropriation in the LGU's annual budget no less than 20% of each annual internal revenue allotment for developmental projects. Compliance with this requirement shall be monitored by the Bureau of Local Government Supervision under the DILG office. Pero ito, meron ho dito, hindi na ho total, hindi lang ho IRA, but total annual regular income. Yun ho, ang annual regular income is IRA plus other income of the local government. So sa mga ito, let's say 800 million ang IRA ng isang LGU. Let's say mayroon ho siyang 200 million na other income. That's 1 billion. Rule of thumb ho, ang usually pag kami tinatanong how much ang pwedeng iutang ng local government, ang kalimitan ho, rule of thumb, kung ano po yung annual regular income, yun po ang pwedeng i-loan ng local government unit. Another equally important is the DILG DBM Joint Circular number 2, Circular 2011-1, dated April 13, 2011. The 20% of IRA may be utilized for the following priority programs and projects. Dati po, may joint circular din po ang DILG at saka DBM na pinuprohibit na yung 20% development fund ay hindi pwedeng pambayad sa loan sa, let's say, sa DBP, Land Bank, or Veterans Bank, or PNB. Pero ngayon ho, because of this DILG DBM Joint Circular 2011-1, pwede na po. IRA may be utilized for the following priority programs and projects: social development, economic development, and environmental management. Papakita ko po sa inyo, ano po ba yung mga projects under social development? Ito po siya. Construction, rehabilitation of health centers. Marami po. Construction, rehabilitation of local government-owned and potable water system. May isa ko akong example sa Masbate branch namin. Pinanans po namin isang barangay. Because that barangay is a island barangay, wala ho silang source of potable water. So what they did is to acquire loan from us, mga siguro 1 million lang. Ang purpose po is to buy motorboat. Then nilagyan lang ng water tank, tapos nagpatayo din ho sila ng water tank dun sa kanilang barangay, at yun hong motorboat ang naghahatid ng tubig. Then sinamahan po ho nila ng isang ng generator, yung generator ho to produce electricity to pump the water from motorboat dun sa kanilang kwan. Ngayon po yung yung kanilang yung parang pinaka-port nila, may ilaw na ho because of the generating set. Ngayon ho, kumikita na sila at the same time yung basic services ng barangay na ibigay nila. That's a magandang example po, pagiging entrepreneur ng mga LGUs. Sa economic development naman ho, ito, construction and rehabilitation of communal irrigation. Marami ho dyan. Then of course, ito yung sabi namin, yung capital expenditures related to the implementation of livelihood or entrepreneurship local economic developmental projects. Then sample ho, our rivers para gawing tourism siguro projects. Then the next slide, ito po naman yung mga expenditure items na hindi pwedeng iutang sa DBP or sa other financial institution, like yung admin expenses po. Hindi ho pwedeng iutang na ang pambayad ay IRA kung magbibigay ng bonus. Hindi ho siya pwede. Yan. In the case of province of Camarines Sur, the identified projects were classified into revenue generating and non-revenue generating projects. Revenue generating projects, which accounts for 85% of the total project cost, consists of Camarines Sur IT Park. Alam ho ba ninyo dun sa Camarines Sur, may 1,500 tayong seat for outsourcing, business process outsourcing. 1,500 po siya. And tourism development projects, and of course may non-revenue generating projects. On the other hand, includes school building program, in-press project, and barangay development projects representing 15% of the total project cost. Its second loan with DBP was entirely allocated for the construction of 48 school buildings. Ito po naman, ang ginamit po nila dito, hindi po internal revenue allotment, but the Special Education Fund, SEF. So lahat po yung second loan nila na 50 million were allocated to construction of school building. May third loan pa ho sila sa amin. In its third loan, 60% of the total project cost was allocated to revenue generating projects, which include ito po, Karamuan and Capital Complex Tourism Development, while 40% was earmarked for non-revenue generating projects comprised of school building program, construction, concreting rehabilitation of public facilities and road networks, acquisition of vehicles and heavy equipment, and other priority projects. A key strategy adopted by the province of Camarines Sur in identifying projects to be undertaken is striking a good balance between revenue generating and non-revenue generating projects, the income being derived from self-liquidating projects like CWC, Karamoan, are being utilized to service loan amortization with the bank and fund other developmental projects in the area. Makikita po ninyo, mas marami po yung income generating projects. At this point, the account officer AO shall be the active player. Yung step 1 po, ang active player is the LGU. However, proponent's assistance will still be needed, complying with the other pre-approved requirements, supplying additional info needed in the evaluation. Ito po yun, credit investigation will then be conducted by our credit and appraisal unit, and this will cover checking on the LGUs and authorized signatories' credit standing with other financial institutions, as well as the trade in court checking. Question po, let's say may mga past dealings po yung signatories. Ang stand po ng DBP, since the governor is authorized by the Sangguniang Panglungsod, Pambayan, or Panlalawigan, ina-approve lang ho namin siya. But of course, wala ho kaming tinatago. Pinapaalam ho namin sa approving authority na may dealings yung, let's say, ang mayor or barangay captain, city mayor or governor. Another distinct aspect in the DBP credit process is the conduct of cost validation by credit and appraisal unit. This will determine the reasonableness of cost estimate submitted by the LGU to the bank. Diyan po pumapasok yung good governance ng DBP. Hindi ho kami pumapayag kung hindi namin nababalidate yung cost estimates. And I think may mga experience ho kami na hindi ho natutuloy yung project because of this validation. Ang sabi po naman namin, kung nabalidate namin, at least pagharap natin sa COA, tuloy-tuloy po. May mga financial institution po na hindi po nagbabalidate. The last four steps in the credit evaluation and processing will be that undertaken by the AO, namely financial analysis, financial projection, due diligence, credit evaluation, and finally, preparation of loan recommendations. Since the loans are unsecured loans, the following safety nets will cushion the effect of possible risks associated with the clean nature of the loan, namely, revenues generated from DBP Finance project shall be assigned and deposited with the bank. Ito po to ensure na yung pong repayment ng LGU will be on time. For loans not fully secured by holdout on deposits, the LGU shall maintain with the DBP deposits equivalent to at least 3 monthly or 1 quarterly amortization, which shall be covered by a holdout agreement and maintained with the bank for as long as the loan is outstanding. Another question po, if in case the internal revenue allotment is not deposited in DBP, can we allow loans? Yes. Ang sinasabi lang po namin doon, we will require 3 monthly amortization or 1 quarterly amortization. Kahit po wala yung internal revenue sa amin. Provided na once na maalis po yung loan, kasi kalimitan po sa LGU, may loan sa other financial institution. So, pag nawala na po siya, may deed of undertaking na lang po to transfer the account with us, yung deposito. Then, another is DBP prior approval shall be required whether the LGU contracts loans from other institution, which shall impair the debt servicing requirement for DBP accommodation. Then, DBP shall be the major depository bank of the LGU. After preparation of loan recommendation, it shall be deliberated by the bank's basic credit committee. So, hindi lang po isa ang nag-approve sa amin. Sa branch po, may basic credit committee, then may executive credit committee po kami, up to the board of directors. But in our case, sa DBP ho, kung 15 million po ang loan, sa level lang po ng regional head. So, yung pong mga fifth and sixth class municipalities na usually ang kaya lang nila is 10 million, mas madali po yung process. Sa amin lang po siya sa regional marketing center ina-approve. Once approved, the client will be formally informed via notice of approval, which shall contain a comprehensive presentation of the approved terms and conditions. At ito po yung madalas hinihintay kasi bago sila makapag-conduct ng bidding sa back, kailangang may source of funds po. Ito po yung hinihintay nila na pampakita sa Commission on Audit. After the loan is approved, the following documents shall be executed. Term loan agreement, the main loan contract between the LGU and the bank. Then we have general condition, contains the standard loan condition of the bank, continuing deed of assignment with holdout, document for the assignment of applicable portion of ERA. Then, ito po yung importante, yung last, yung ratifying resolution. The LGU shall submit to the bank sangguniang resolution ratifying the terms and conditions of the approved loan. This document is indispensable for the loan to become binding. So, sabi ko nga ho kanina, earlier, ang naglulong po is LGU, not the governor, the mayor, or the barangay captain. So, kailangan hong i-ratify yung terms and conditions. The LGU should first comply with all the pre-release conditions, which include, among others, LGU's infusion of required equity. Usually, ang projects nire-require ng bangko na magkaroon ng 10% equity. Pero bago ho natin na our credit and appraisal unit, our appraiser should first verify kung na-infuse na talaga yung 10%. And of course, another important is the attendance of a DBP representative to the actual bidding. If applicable, RA 9184, also known as Government Procurement Reform Act, itemizes the list of LGU projects required to undergo public bidding strictly in accordance with the Act. Ito yung sinasabi ko na isang papasok din yung good governance ng DBP. Kaya ho kami umaattend as observer. Hindi ho kami regular member ng BAC, but as observer only. Then another important is a compliance to the approved operating guidelines as validated by the AO. The operating guidelines details the manner of release and the conditions for release. Usually ho, ang nangyayari, may mga items po na nakalagay ho sa operating guidelines na siya dapat ang bibilhin. But pagka minsan no, may mga reason na hindi ho siya nabibili. Hindi siya ang nabibili. Let's say, dump truck. Ang pina-approve ho sa amin is let's say 6 cubic meters. Tas ang dadating ay 4 cubic meters. Hindi ho pumapayag ang bangko. Dahil iba ho ang presyo ng 6 cubic meters na dump truck as compared to 4 cubic meters na dump truck. Then, once the requirements for release are complied, loan release may now be affected subject to execution of certificate of notice of borrowing, execution of promissory note and disclosure statements, then payment of credit-related fees. Loan proceeds shall be credited to the LGU's deposit account maintained with DBP. Hindi po namin binibigay sa mayor, hindi po namin binibigay sa governor, hindi po namin binibigay sa barangay captain, but to the account of the LGU. At another equally important, as a monitoring tool, COA conducts selective pre-audit on government transaction in accordance with COA Circular Number 209-02 dated May 18, 2009. Dati ho wala nito, yun hong pre-audit ng mga projects sa cities within Metro Manila and other highly urbanized cities in first-class provinces, 5 million and above po. Mandatory po na before any payment for projects involving more than 5 million and above, may pre-audit po ang COA. Then for provinces and cities below first class, 3 million and above, municipalities, 1 million and above. After loan proceeds are released, continuous account monitoring and management shall be undertaken by the AO. So far ho, yung sa programa namin ni isa ho, wala pang nagpapastyon na LGU. Ito po yung mga completed and going projects ng Camarines Sur. CWC is a 118-hectare tourism site which used to be a vast agricultural land with a provincial governor who never stopped dreaming for his beloved Camarines Sur, the remarkable transformation of an immense barren land to the best cable park in the world is indeed success story. CWC will remain a major centerpiece of Governor El Rey Villafuerte's thrust to transform the province into a world-class ecotourism destination in an international center of extreme sports. Yun hong Karamuan is like Boracay. Ang kaibahan ho ng Boracay, ang Boracay diretso hong white sand. But in case of Karamuan, mga island ho siya na white sand din. Na may investment ho doon ang LGU Kamsur for the construction of Gota Beach and Hunungan Beach. Actually ho, nagagalit nga po yung mga taga Karamuan because wala na silang chance na makabisita sa Karamuan, sa Gota Beach because palagi po siyang puno ng mga nagpipilm, nagsushoot ng Survivor. Actually ho, last visit namin sa Gota Beach, 4 na countries po ang nagsushoot ng kanilang Survivor. So I heard from Governor Villafuerte na hanggang 2012 fully booked po yung Gota Beach at saka Hunungan Beach. So, yun pong spillover, nagkaroon po ng chance yung mga taga-Karamuan na dating sleepy town siya, nagkaroon po ng chance na magkaroon ng business opportunities yung mga resident ng Karamuan. Actually ho, dati noon wala kang makitang mga business undertakings doon. But now, ang dami na pong mga lodging houses at the same time. Sabi ko nga, pagpunta mo doon sa Gota Beach, parang wala ka sa Pilipinas. Parang nasa ibang bansa ka because of tourists. Then summary of completed proposed projects by district. Ang ginawa ho ni Governor Erley, equally distributed po yung projects. May District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4. Para ho walang lamangan siguro. And of course, may napapabalitang isusubdivide ang province. Natanong ko na rin ho sa local leadership ng LGU kung ano yung loan sa DBP. Ang sabi nila sa akin, since identified naman yung projects, may pinaglagyan, siguro kung talagang matutuloy yung division ng Camarines Sur, kung ano yung projects na dala doon sa isang probinsya, yun ang babayaran nila. Ito yung significant milestone after our forging with the Governor El Rey Villafuerte. Ito yun, the partnership between DBP and the province of Camarines Sur has yielded successive fruits, like the phenomenal leap from the 39th to the 10th richest province in the Philippines. It's now branded as the wakeboarding capital of the world in the next Boracay of the Philippines because of Karamoan. The Department of Tourism likewise recognized the province as the #1 tourist destination in the Philippines since 2009. In 2009, it registered tourist arrival of 1.4 million, up to 99% from 2008 figure. 2008 registered the highest observed of foreign tourists to 333% over the previous year. On the aggregate, the province posted a staggering average increase of 63% annually. And in the part of the bank po naman, yun hong hinahanap naming impact, developmental impact sa area, ay nakita po namin. Because aminin po natin na during construction, may 35% of the total project cost goes to labor. Kung 1 billion po yung project, around 350 million automatically goes to labor. Then construction of Kamsur IT Park created 1,500 new jobs. May mga call centers na po tayo diyan because of the IT center. Then construction of 152 new classrooms. Wala akong problema ang Camarines Sur sa mga classroom natin. Kasi dati ho 1:55% ang ratio, but now 1:45. Then mayroon po tayo 160 new concrete roads, 3 public markets, 74 barangay halls in various public facilities. This contribute to the distribution of goods, reduce the transportation costs, and of course, both tourism growth in the Bicol region and improvement in the delivery of basic services. May nilagay ho ako diyan, yun hong pinopel po natin yung growth ng micro and small and medium enterprises. Actually, nung bago pa ako sa Bicol, ang investment po namin sa micro and small and medium enterprises is only about 40 million. But because of the, I think, industry, boom of tourism industry in the region, may investment na ho ako ngayong nasa 90 million. Dati ho, wala hong lumalapit sa amin na poultry, wala hong piggery, but now, may mga lumalapit na po. Then, ang isa hong nakita namin, noted na noted po ito, dati ho, yung pili namin sa Bicol, sa Naga, especially sa Naga and other places, Sorsogon, as well as to Camarines Norte, simple lang ho ang presentation. But now, naka-tetra pack na rin po kami. At saka ho, marami na hong product line. Hindi na ho yung dati na pumupunta ako sa Bicol na honeycomb pili, at saka ho yung kulay puti. Ngayon ho, marami na, may hopia na ho na pili, may marami na ho, may torones de pili, mayroon pa ho tayong alinamnam na pili, marami po. At yun ho nakita namin. Ito yung siguro, I think Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce na maraming members dito, na they will all agree with me na talagang yung tourism ang nakapag-boom. Yung tourism industry, isa sa nakapag-boom ng industry sa Bicol. But not only in Camarines Sur, nadala po ang Naga. Then, because of the partnership, ang DBP ho, nakakuha din ho ng award. Hindi lamang po si Governor El Rey, hindi lamang ang probinsya. Yung pong number 1, itong ADPIAP, Association of Development Financing Institution in Asia, in the Pacific, nagkaroon ho ang award ng ang DBP. Ito lang ho, bago lang ho ito, last March, yung pong award for local economic development. Actually, sinali po namin at nanalo po siya. Then, international recognition po in the part of DBP. Then, yung pong LGU Kamsur, naging presidential awardee for best practice in tourism development plan. Development, 2009 lang po siya. Then, si Governor po naman, one of the outstanding young persons of the world from JC's International 2008 because of CWC. And of course, yung Asia's People of the Year 2006. Kasi, noong 2006 po, doon po nag-umpisa yung tie-up namin ni Governor. Ang nakita po namin, kaya ho nasusustain yung dating ng turista sa Camarines Sur, dapat ho pala may annual activities ka nang nakalagay dyan. At yun ho ang nakita namin kay Governor na yearly ho may mga activities niya. Katulad ho nito, January, April, and May, tapos na po siya. Then yung June to December, gagawin ho niya yan. Kaya ang nangyayari ho, whole year round ang activities. Hindi ho katulad ng mga ibang tourist destination na one time lang. Yun ho pala ang kaibahan nung kung may activities ka, pwedeng magpabalik-balik ang turista. Unlike kung destination lang siya, once lang napupunta ang turista. Hindi lang ho foreign tourists but also local tourists. Ako, pag nakapunta ko sa Davao, pag napunta ho, hindi na ako pupunta. Ang pupuntahan ko lang ay Mount Apo. Nakita ko na. Unlike ko Baguio, siyempre iba yung Baguio because kahit magpabalik-balik ka sa Baguio, napakaganda ng klima ng Baguio. Yun ho ang ginawa ni Governor El Rey para continuous yung dating ng turista. Then lastly ho, LGU Camarines Sur, as it is more commonly known, has gone a long way from being one of the Philippines' poorest provinces to become the top tourist destination that it is today. And we take pride in being part of the success story. Yan po sabi ng aming boss sa DBP. And that's all, and thank you very much po.